Our top story today is that U.S. strike that killed Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri in Afghanistan. This is what we know about him. He was the number 2 to Osama bin Laden after founding the terrorist group Egyptian Islamic Jihad. He helped plan the 9/11 attacks. He also planned numerous other attacks on Americans, including the 1998 bombings of the U.S. embassies in Tanzania and Kenya. Al-Zawahiri's death comes nearly a year after the U.S. withdrew all troops from Afghanistan. Joining me right now is Pakistan's former ambassador to the U.S., Husain Haqqani. He's now the director for South and Central Asia at the Hudson Institute. Good to have you with us.
Pleasure being here.
What does this strike mean for the future of the terrorist group Al-Qaeda and for all terror groups?
Well, the most important thing is that the United States demonstrated its reach, that even though the Taliban control Afghanistan, the U.S. can still identify, find, and eliminate major terrorists like Mr. al-Zawahiri. You know, al-Zawahiri is the first generation of the modern jihadi. He was part of the war against the Soviets in the 1980s. He was part of the group that killed Egyptian President Anwar Sadat. He was Osama bin Laden's lieutenant. The next generation will now probably take over. The jihadi groups do not end just because their leader gets eliminated, but they are on notice that the United States can find them even in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan and kill them with the precision with which Mr. al-Zawahiri was eliminated.
Does the Taliban still have close ties with Al-Qaeda?
The Taliban have had close ties with Al-Qaeda constantly. That is why people like myself criticized the Doha Agreement, because we thought that the Doha Agreement trusted the Taliban too much. It just accepted their word. There was no evidence at that time. The UN reported at that time that they maintained close ties with Al-Qaeda. And now we have seen it. As soon as the Taliban are in power, Ayman al-Zawahiri relocates himself to Kabul in a comfortable house in a comfortable neighborhood. That proves that the Taliban and Al-Qaeda remain joined at the hip.
But how in the world was the U.S. able to target al-Zawahiri in Taliban-run Afghanistan? Wouldn't the Taliban have tipped off the U.S. military or some spy within the Taliban?
So that is an assumption that the United States cannot work with individuals who are supportive of U.S. goals, even in a country where somebody else controls all levers of power. The fact of the matter is that Afghanistan is a divided country. There are millions of Afghans who do not like the Taliban. They do not support the Taliban. They do not support the medieval ideology represented by Al-Qaeda and Taliban. There could be any number of people who could have tipped the United States off. And once you have a tip, once you know the location, then you can actually monitor them from the skies. And once you can monitor, you can figure out how to eliminate.
Wow. All right. We really appreciate it. Husain Haqqani, thank you very much for joining us here on Morning in America, Ambassador. We appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.